So the last couple of, well, I shouldn't even say the last couple of days. Seems like since I've, been in Detroit, the weather has been, in a word, crappy. Um, Actually, that's a good day. It's been crappy. Lots of wind, lots of rain, snow, waves, all that stuff. So what I want to talk about tonight for kind of our discussion topic is I want to talk about which one of those weather conditions do you dislike the most? Wind or rain? Let's kind of go those two things. Precipitation or wind. Um, I do not like the rain. I would rather fish, honestly, I'd rather fish in 40-mile-an-hour wind with no rain than no wind and rain. There's something about rain, something about being wet that ever since I fished, even as a tournament fisherman, it kind of mentally gets me off my game when I'm wet. I don't like to be wet. I wear AFCO Hydronaut suit, awesome suit, but there's no way you're going to stay completely dry. I don't care what you buy. Um, the best suit in the world, if you get enough rain, especially if it mixed it with a little bit of wind, you're going to get some moisture. You're going to get a little bit of wet. The whole boat's wet. Storage compartments get wet. Everything you have laying on the dash gets wet. You got to put everything away. I absolutely hate rain. Rain gets me off of my game mentally. Wind I can deal with. I don't like wind, but I can control my boat in the wind and do what I need to do in the wind, usually swearing under my breath most of the time when it's really windy. Wind up to about 15 is pretty easy. Actually, today, if you guys are on the river today, we had no wind for a little bit. And I said, man, I like a little bit of wind to drive against, right? It helps me stay vertical. When there's no wind, you really can't stay vertical because any thrust you have is too much, right? So I like a little bit of wind, 8, 10, maybe even 12 miles an hour is good. 15 gets a little hairy. You get about 15, it's windy. But I would much rather, personally, Lance Valentine, I would much rather deal with wind than rain. I do not like rain. I actually enjoyed the snow more than I enjoyed the rain. I don't like the rain. So what about you guys? Is it wind or rain that drives you the baddest, kind of gets you off your game a little bit? I see a couple guy. Roy says wind. Randy says wind. Mike says the weather's been pitiful. Yeah, pitiful on a good day. Mark says he doesn't like the rain. Yeah, that's my thing. Dennis says Aquarius doesn't like to get wet either. That's kind of funny. Arlo says he hates big waves from the wind. Um, Tommy says typically avoid rain, but watch the wind. Mitch says cold rain. Danny Campbell says wind, it wears on you. Joe says don't like the rain when it's cold. High south winds can be brutal. Yeah, direction with the wind, direction is just as much as speed. George says rain is a pain. Tom says wind because small boat keeps me off the water. There's another vote for wind. Roy races the same thing. Wind keeps him off the water. I know he's got a little bit smaller boat. Dave says doesn't like the rain. He stays home if it's raining. Hal says hail is no fun. Hail is definitely not fun. We had snowflakes. Whatever night it was. The days are all running together, and the snowflakes were so big. You could actually hear them hit your coat. You could actually hear them hit the windshield. So I think that was Friday. Was it Friday? I don't know. Roy says wind affects how you set up on structure and can screw up the pattern. Now that's a good point, Roy. Get away from the great point, Roy. Get away from the boat control piece of it, right? Wind can actually move your fish you may have a pattern going for 2 or 3 days and the wind changes either direction and or speed, and it can completely change your pattern. It's not so much on the river, but Roy's right about lakes, especially the guys that are casting structure and, shiver minnows and that type of thing. That wind turn 10, 15 degrees or go up or down 5, 6 miles an hour. It can completely change your pattern. Great point, Roy. I've been on the river so long, I forgot about that. But yeah, wind can definitely destroy your pattern. Jason says rain is the worst. You're right. I don't like rain. Dave says wind because boat control is still a challenge. Do I need a Canadian license for next Thursday's charter? Yes, I would tell you to buy a Canadian license. Even if we have to stay on our side to get our limit, we will do that and then head over to the Canadian side and try to get a couple big fatties. So yes, David, get Canadian licenses. I would tell you, if you're watching, you got a charter with me this year, buy a Canadian license and be ready to roll. So So it looks like it's about 50-50 rain and wind. The boat control, if I'm used to it. I take great pride in my boat control. I get a chance to do it every day. That's that obviously is a huge advantage, right? Um, but like I said, wind drives me. The thing I don't like about wind is when I'm on a charter and I'm trying to help customers, the boat goes wherever it wants to go. That's my biggest problem with wind. Is you come off the trolling motor. If I'm reeling a fish, come off the trolling motor, and the wind, the boat just kind of goes wherever. That's my biggest issue with wind. I can control my boat, and 25, 30. The other day we had gusts up to 42, and we were fishing. Um, that doesn't bother me, but again, a little bit of rain just gets me off my deal. Mike says I can deal with rain if it's at least 65 degrees and fishing is good. That's the warmth of the air and the quality of fishing definitely makes rain a little bit easier. I have a rule. I will not leave the dock if it's raining. Um, if we leave the dock, it's not raining and it starts to rain a minute after we get on the lake, I'm okay. I just have a real hard time leaving the dock on purpose when it's rain when it's raining. I don't like to leave the dock when it's raining. So if we get out there and it starts to rain, that's okay. But leaving the dock when you're it's kind of like, what are we doing? Royce is going to put on his calendar that I said he had a good point. Write it down, Roy. You're going to have it on video. You're going to have proof. It's going to be out there on the internet for everybody to hear. But you did have a great point. Fantastic point. So there you go. Anybody else want to chime in on wind or rain? Uh, you see, so this is funny. Chris says wind affects the ability to detect the casting bites. Um, so yeah, I would tell you that wind would probably bother me more. And I've been on the river for 2 weeks and I'm in river mode. But you're right, wind would probably bothers me more on the lake than rain does because wind does affect even my trolling bite. These guys are talking about fishing pieces of structure, and now you've got a big bow in your line. Um, the guys I stay with in Detroit, they cast a lot, and they had a really tough time yesterday because casting, they couldn't get the bow out of their line. There was too big of a bow in their line to actually feel anything. So Chris is right? If you're on the lake, wind or you're casting, wind can really mess you up more than the rain can. So that's a really appreciate that, guys, because that's kind of a really a different caveat, right? Conditions are the same, and then let's say wind's not going to affect your fishing. I would probably say I'll take wind over rain. But thinking about it, now you guys have brought it up, Roy and Chris, if I'm on the lake, I probably would rather have rain than wind because wind can ruin my pattern or my ability to do what I'm doing a lot faster than rain can. That went somewhere I wasn't expecting it to go tonight. So awesome. Yeah, that's a great point. Great point. Mark says, hi, Mark. Good to see you again. He says he loves the light rain, less boats, unless it's Saturday on the Detroit River in April or May. And there's all kinds. But boy, last Saturday, holy moly, the Saturday before Easter, I've been fishing Detroit River since 1997, so let's call it 25 years. I have never, ever in my life, ever seen that many boats on the Detroit River, ever, as there was Saturday before Easter. It was crazy. Too many boats, if you want my opinion, but that is what it is. All right, anybody else want to chime in on the wind and rain? I like that we went a little different direction. That's cool. I like that. I like that. You guys are thinking, and everybody's got a different perspective. Again, I'm in river mode, so I'm thinking I can control the boat in the wind. I just don't like the rain. But the lake thing has got me thinking. And we're going to talk about wind. I think next month in Teaching Fish and Anglers Club, when we talk about casting for walleyes. We're going to talk about what Roy talked about, fish, wind moving fish on structure. What Chris talked about, detecting casting bites. So that's all coming up in the Teaching Fish and Anglers Club next month when we talk about casting for walleye. That's going to be part of our conversation. So we'll dig deeper into that in the Anglers Club next month. And if you're not a member, teachingfishing.com, click on the members club, and there's click on join. It'll give you all the benefits and everything that we do, and give you the ability to join that. No matter when you join, you have access to all of our content this year. So just because you join in April or May, you still have content to everything we did in access to everything we did January, February, and March. So Arlo says nothing like casting vibes with your braid going up in the air on the cast because water is warmer than the air. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I've done that once in actually a thunderstorm that was coming. I actually cast a jig out and it literally suspended above the water. And then about 30 seconds later, we had a crack of lightning that scared the crap out of you. And that was not a good idea. But yeah, that's a cool take on wind. All right. Like I said, I'm in river mode right now. And um, huh, I like that. You're making this old fat guy think. Kevin Davis says wind for him, especially when it creates currents that throw my boards off. That's another part of it on the lake. Al says wind, rain, or snow on Quinty in December has many putting up full canopies and using Mr. Buddy heaters. Wow, geez. I said I'd never have a top on my boat. Now I got the pontoon with a big top, so I probably shouldn't say I'll never have a heater in my boat because I think that's not too far, not too far away. As I get older, I think I get smarter. So there you go. Wind right, yeah. I can't imagine. Yuck. We've had a couple bad days on the river. If you've been on the river the last couple days or watched the weather, we've had a couple days where it was just, um, the other day was snow and 25-mile-an-hour wind, and it was really funny on. I don't even know what day it is. What's today? Today's Wednesday. So yesterday morning we had a southwest 10 to 15. That was our steady wind. So it was literally southwest. I'm kind of pointed downriver, and the gusts were up to 35 straight west. So you'd get a gust, you'd have to turn the boat straight west, and the gust would stop. And if you stayed straight west, the boat would go up current. So you had to kind of pull back into the constant wind that was southwest. It was really weird. Have you ever jigged Erie or Lake St. Clair this time of year? Maybe right now. I have not. That's something I don't do. The closest I've gotten, Jason, is the Detroit River, right where Lake St. Clair dumps in. I have fished there, and that can be great fishing. But I've jigged Erie one time years and years and years ago. Honestly, didn't know what I was doing. Um, so we caught a few fish, but really didn't know what we were doing. This, I mean, I'm talking 30 years ago. Um, but no, I've never done that. It's something I just don't do. Bruce says this weekend is shaping up real good. Can't wait to head out. Plan on running some bottom bouncers. When the water temperature goes to 48 or 50, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. It was about 43 today. And it's supposed to stay cold overnight. Even we got one day I think a high of 73 for about an hour. I think the morning starts out at 38 that morning. So that's not enough warmth to really warm the water. So we got quite a ways, quite a little bit of time before we get to 50 degrees for sure. Jim says you do have a heater, your heated jacket. I'll tell you what, the MVP, I got 4 MVPs of the last couple days. Number one is my Milwaukee heated electric vest. Buy one. If you don't have one, buy one. Just go buy one. That's been number one MVP the last couple days. Second has been my Irish Setter boots. We talked about those before. It is so nice to wear a pair of alpaca socks. I'll put those together, alpaca socks and my Irish Setter boots. Keep your feet warm, no matter how cold, no matter how crappy the weather is. That's MVP number two, my alpaca socks and my Irish Setter boots. Number three is my AFCO Reaper hoodie. So today, it was 39 degrees when we headed out. No wind. I had on my heated Milwaukee vest and my Reaper. That was it. Had no jacket on. That Reaper it keeps the heat in. It kind of cuts the wind. You've got the face thing. You got the hood. I can't imagine fishing without my AFCO Reaper. I absolutely love it. And then last, obviously, is my AFCO rain gear, the Hydronaut suit. Keeps you dry, keeps the fish slime off, keeps the wind out. So those 4 things, it's good to have the right rod, the right reel, all that stuff. If you're gonna go to Detroit, especially the last couple of days, those are my 4 MVPs. So there you go. Matt, our good friend from Slow Trolling LLC, congratulations, cashed a check, 4th place, a little over 62 pounds for 2 days in the Rossford Walleye Roundup. Good job, Matt. Congratulations to you. Jimmy says water temperature Saginaw Bay 36.5 all weekend. Matt says he loves his Reaper. Mike asked a great question. We're going to kind of wrap up tonight with this question because I think it's a great question. Is this the coldest river water temps you've seen at April 20th? It is actually, no, it's actually the second coldest I've seen consistently. I can't remember what year it was. It was like 2012 or 2013. We had really, really cold April. But this is really, really close. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, yeah, it's the coldest I've seen. I will tell you this for sure about this April. It is the windiest April we've ever had. We have had more wind, higher wind, and more high winds for longer than we've ever had in any April I've been on the river. It is the windiest April we've ever had, as far as my records tell me. So, um, you know, if you like wind and snow and rain, it's been a great year. Fishing's been good. That's the saving grace, but the fishing has definitely been good. So there you go. Global warming. Yeah. 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 Whatever. That's another conversation for somebody smarter than me. The wind sucks. It does. I swear under my breath at the wind every day, but like I said, I would rather deal with wind than rain on the river. I would have to rethink that in the lake, and we will discuss that in Teach Efficient Anglers Club next month. So there you go. All right, that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for finding us tonight. Again, we're going to be Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. until the end of May. That's where we're going to be. It just works with the schedule. So we wanted to continue to do this. We wanted to continue to do this quality. I hope you guys appreciate all the work that goes on behind the scenes to make this look as good as it looks. We wanted to keep that standard up. The only way we could do that was for me to come home and do it from the office. So I will be at golf Wednesday night, and I will be here at 9 o'clock on Wednesdays to continue Coffee Hour Plus. Love talking to you guys. I really, really do. When I'm done here, I'm going to head in the office. I'm going to shoot the fishing report video from today, get that up, and then I'm going to bed. So I pulled the plug on tomorrow. They're talking 45-mile-an-hour gusts straight up the river. So you know how bad that is. It does not, Matt. You have to get an external water temperature. So we pulled the plug. So I'm going to be home a little bit in the morning tomorrow. So it'll be nice to get a little bit of extra sleep and kind of go from there. So, all right, guys, thanks for your time tonight. Remember, teachefficient.com. Check out the public lounge. Check out all the videos we got. Check out the YouTube channel. If you're not a member, check out teachefficient.com. Click on the members. I think you might want to be a member. We've got some really, really great stuff on the members only Teach Efficient Anglers Club. Excited about what's coming up. So, all right, guys, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. I'll see you back here every night with a fishing report on Lance Valentine Sport Fishing. We'll be back here next Wednesday, 9 p.m. for Coffee Hour Plus. Thanks for your time tonight, guys. Be safe, wear your PFDs, get out there and go fishing.